How you feeling, Kayla?
I'm feeling really, really good,
Feeling
man.
good?
Blessed to be still in this business, man.
I heard that.
Yes, sir.
So you're originally from Louisiana.
Originally from Louisiana to the Fillmore District, San Francisco, and then to Richmond.
Okay, and then to Richmond.
Yeah.
What area in Louisiana are you
Well,
from?
everybody know Baton Rouge.
Okay,
Baton Rouge, I'm from a small town called Port Allen, right outside of Baton Rouge,
okay.
Louisiana.
Port Allen.
It's kind of like from the distance from Richmond to Vallejo over the bridge.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where my family house is, where my mom grew up. One of 26 kids.
One of 26.
One of 26, man. Yeah. That's
Wow.
where I got my studio name from. My mom's name is Lucinda.
Lucinda.
And then, of course, my name is Kenny.
Okay.
So I took the K and the L because I had my studio in my mom's garage. So that's where that K Lou come from. Yeah.
Nice. So what was it like growing up for you?
The times was perfect growing up. I grew up in the projects, San Francisco West Side projects, where I learned how to play every sport. Um, from there, we moved to Richmond, and then high school in Richmond. I went to Richmond High School. I was into sports. Didn't even think about music at the time. I was basketball, football, I was quarterback. I always was a leader. So I was a shooting guard in basketball, where I was MVP. And I lasted maybe 1-2 years playing football. I didn't like how they used to rough me up, man. Our line was terrible, so I used to get tackled, faced in the mud. So I said, I can't do this no more. So I just stuck to basketball in high school.
Okay, and that was at Richmond High.
Richmond High School, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So from Louisiana, around what time did you move to California?
It was in the 70s.
In the 70s.
It was in the 70s, yeah.
And
yeah.
how old were you then?
Blah, blah, blah.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take it back for a second. So,
I was young. I was young.
Young.
I was young.
okay, so let's get into music. So, you met Master P in Louisiana in what, 88, 89, something
Well,
like that?
my music goes before Master P. Let's go back a little
Right.
bit.
Let's go back.
When I realized I couldn't make it playing basketball, I blew my knee out. I'm not saying I was going to be in the NBA. I blew my knee out, and I was downtown Richmond. It used to be Kaiser Hospital. And I was going for some rehab, and I was early for my appointment. And I walked down on McDonald Street. A lot of people don't know about back then. You used to have a lot of pawn shops, a lot of Woolworth store. So I'm just walking down the street, and I walk past this pawn shop, and I see this bass hanging in the window. Don't ask me why. What something drew me to this bass guitar. I went inside, and I wanted to buy this bass guitar. There, you could put something on layaway. So I decided to put this bass guitar on layaway. I was paying $5 a month, a week. I forgot what it was, and I got it out. I taught myself bass. And one of my dear friends, Eric E.Q. Young, who was in a group called Radiance, was a top group at the time in the Bay Area. And this guy was real nice on bass. And he sold me an amp. And from there, I taught myself. I thought I was good enough to join bands, but the bands at the time, this is when you had to know how to play instruments, because when you go to a club, DJs wasn't spinning on records. It was a band playing the music. And that's the music scene. And I tried to join a few bands and never got chosen. So I decided to start my own group. I called it Serious Business. And where I was the leader, being a leader of a band, you have to know everybody's part. So I started learning how to play piano, guitar, drums. That's how I learned everything. To be a leader of the band, to let everybody know if they playing the wrong thing, you're playing that wrong. You put the change here. This one was like learning all the Earth, Wind, and Fire songs, Cool in the Game. Who else was big at the time? And then from there, I started a group called Kajamin with my dear friend Tim McClure. It was just me and him, and we had a backup band with some other members in the band. Ricky Alexander was a sax player. He's doing real good right now. His brother Wee on drums. My brother Squirk, his name is Curtis. He was lead vocal and sometimes drum. Emmett Hunter played keyboards. And we performed around the Bay Area a lot. And we got recognitions from a manager. Her name was Mavis Management. And she got us a deal with Macola Records out of L.A. And a lot of people don't know Macola Records. They did the first NWA stuff. Tony was signed to them. It was a small independent company. And from there, made a little bit of money. So I decided to put my money back into myself, invest in myself, and I got a studio. I got some recording equipment. And the recording equipment came from Japan. I had a dear friend that was in the Coast Guard. So you buy things from Japan back then, it was a lot cheaper. So I got a reel-to-reel, 4-track reel-to-reel, a 2-track master deck, and a 8-track mixer. And I taught myself how to record because the studio at the time in Richmond was called Starlight. Everybody used to record there. Sheila E., Frankie Bailey Mays, Tony. But the hours at the time were $150 an hour. A lot of you got young people don't know back then, shoot, at minimum wage was $2.50, $3 an hour. $150 an hour for studio time was a lot. So the only thing we can afford, or I can afford because I was paying for studio time, was $75 an hour graveyard, 11 to 7 in the morning. So we came up with this song, It Ain't Over, got signed to Macola, and started my own studio.
Wow. So,
I know I was rambling.
No, it's okay. It's good. That's good information. So before you met P, this is pretty much how you got into the game. You were a musician in the Bay Area. You were making, you were a bass guitar player.
Yep, that was my main instrument. Even though I played everything, and bass was my main instrument. Yes.
Okay.
Bass and lead vocals, believe it or not.
Lead vocals, huh?
I sung lead vocals on our song. When you sing all the time, you can do it. And I did it because our lead singer at the time just didn't work out, so couldn't find a lead singer that could do the song, so I did it. I was a lead singer on our records. And during that time, man, we got a lot of airplay. It was K-Soul and KDIA. They would have a lot of Bay Area events. We would be there on stage. I remember one time we performed for the governor, Jerry Brown, and we were sitting at the same table with Confunction, who was another group that I idolized at the time, which was way better than us. And it's a funny story because at one of these events, they bring out new talent, right? And we were sitting at the table. They said, we're going to bring out this guy right now, and he going to do a song for you. So this guy come out. He had a white tuxedo on with a red cummerbund. He came out dancing, right? I said, man, what is this? This ain't going to go nowhere. He dancing like that? He was just dancing, a little bit of rap, It was MC Hammer. It was like, wow, man. It was something new. That's why I was like, what is this? And everybody know what happened to MC Hammer. He blew up after signing with Capitol. But go back to my story, we did a lot of Bay Area events. We had a little name for ourselves. And that's how I started in the music business.
At what point did you begin to start engineering and recording other artists?
Well, when I built a studio in my mom's garage, like I was saying before. That's why the studio was named K. Lou Studios. And in the beginning, it was just for the group Kajamin, my group, right? And then I decided to start renting out studio time to make some extra money. I think at the time I was $8 an hour. It was like some low amount. And I started recording this rock band from, they were up north somewhere, Santa Rosa. And because I wasn't into rap yet at the time. I didn't really roll, because, rap at the time was kind of not violent, but it's just, I wasn't in it. I was into R&B, funk and R&B. I'm a funk player, Cameo, Earth, Wind & Fire. And the first guy I met rap-wise that wanted to do rap was Master P. Somebody told him about me, Renando Hardy. He told him about me. And he was Master P's first DJ. And that's when I first met P. P came up to my mom's house. This is Percy Miller before the fame. And he wanted to rap. And came to my studio. When he started talking, I said, wait a minute, hey, where you from? New Orleans. So, hey, with that accent, remind me of home. We clicked right off. But he didn't have no money, so he wanted studio time. And this old story, I heard King George, which at the time was Master P's right-hand man. He told this story on another podcast that, hey, man, K-Lou gonna let us use the studio. I'm gonna paint his mama's house. King George said, man, you don't know nothing about painting, but I'm gonna paint his mama's house. P would do anything, man, to get where he was going. Just determination. Came up there, had his painting clothes on, got the brush, got the paint. We let him go. I think about an hour later, I went out there to check his work. I looked at the house, man, he had the house was tore up. I said, man, get off that damn ladder, man, get out of here. I ran him off. Man, get up out of here. And it was like a funny thing. It wasn't like I was, upset, but I had to get somebody else to paint. But I just liked this determination. I said, come on, man, let's do this. I'll give you some time. Gave him 3 hours. And we ended up doing the Master P's first song called Mind of a Psychopath. It was on a cassette. That was our first time working together, man. And I can honestly say if I had a chance to do it all over again, I would do it the exact same way. P was a really nice guy to me. He treated me well over the years, and I have no complaints, man, I didn't think he was the best rapper that I ever worked with, but he was definitely the best businessman by far. He just knew he was destined to make it, man.
Nice. So what year was that you guys did that first project? Do you remember?
I think it was 88, 89. That was
Okay.
88, 89. A lot of,
88, 89.
it's that was that time.
Okay.
Yeah, he had the record store near the college, No Limit Records, and him and Sonia was living in the back of the record store, and I think Romeo, they had Romeo with him, and yeah, he had a dream, man. He definitely had a dream.
Okay, so let's fast forward just a little bit. So let's talk about the ice cream project. So it's about 96, something like that.
Actually, it was, I don't remember what month it came out. It might have been end of 95 or early 96. I
think it was
forgot.
something like that.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I think it was April.
April that it came out?
I think that it might have been mentioned or something like that.
Yeah, we still, okay, if it did, it was just man, let me tell you not a quick story, but how that came about. P called me on got to be a Thursday, I think it was. He said, man, I got to do this record. I want you to do these many songs for me. And I said, I'm used to saying, okay, I'm doing a record. We probably got about 2-3 months to get it done. I said, okay, how much time we got? 3 days. 3 days? He said, yeah, man, we're going to come in there and stay in there and get it done. He already had a couple songs, but I worked on the main 2 songs. I did the Ice Cream Man, and I did No More Tears, was the first 2 videos. But, man, we went in and recorded that whole record, man, got everything done because at the time, he told Priority Records that he had a record done. He's just going to go back and tighten up, and he's going to turn it in on Monday or Tuesday or whatever time that was. And he didn't tell all of this that. He just told us it got to be done. But, hey, we got it done, man. We was in there the whole weekend. Didn't leave the studio till I think it was Sunday night or something like that. I can't remember exact dates and times, but Sunday night. We had so much fun working on the Ice Cream Man. It was like we was a close-knit family back then, with the Beats by the Pound crew. I was always an honorary member of Beats by the Pound. Beats by the Pound was them 3 guys, KL, Craig B, and Moby Dick. And I was always independent. P had wanted me to come to Louisiana, but I was working with too many people here. I couldn't leave everybody. I enjoy working with a lot of people. And P made the decision to have me come, still be part of everything, you know, to go to Louisiana. I was going to Louisiana 3 weeks out of every month, working on just a bunch of music. Man, at one point, we were doing 4 albums a month at No Limit. It was like a factory, man. It was fun too, man. It was really fun. It was one of the best times of my life being in the music. But back to the story about working on the Ice Cream Man. We took a break. We shoot dice. You used to shoot dice in the studio all the time. This particular night, I think it was a Saturday night. We were working on Ice Cream Man. We took a break, and I think I might have only had at the time $80 on me, which was a lot of money to me back then because I didn't have none. And remember, P wasn't making it yet, you know. This is Ice Cream Man. Ice Cream Man was the start of it. We was working on that album, but we shooting dice. Them guys had money. It was like maybe 10 of us shooting dice, and I could not lose this day. I'm shooting dice. Anything I was hitting every point, right? And I think I had $3,600, man. Believe it or not, I had $3,600, and I had one guy left. It was P's bodyguard. His name was Man. He wore a blue Adidas sweatsuit. I remember it like it was yesterday. He was the last one left. When I was shooting dice against him, whop, boom, I was hitting him. And I think he had maybe $20 left. And I guess he was getting hot. He unzipped his Adidas sweatsuit. And then I seen 2 Uzis hanging from inside of his coat, right? And I said to myself, oh man, I can't keep hitting. So I called Crazy Point. I said, I bet I hit 2-2. Boom, 2-2. I said, oh shit, this dude gonna get pissed. He got them Uzis hanging from inside his coat. I said, okay, another 4. I bet I hit 3-1. Bet 50. I bet whatever he had left. Boom, 3-1. Oh my God, I'm sweating. I'm thinking this dude gonna get pissed, but he was cool. He said, oh man, good game, man. You broke me, man. I had so much money that night. It was great. It was great. But that was funny to me, man. I was like, God, I keep hitting every point. You know, people who shoot dice, you know them times when you get hot. Oh wow, it was crazy, man. I was hitting every point. But that was the story. One of them stories I can remember. I might use that for a movie one day. Just throw that in there somewhere, you know.
As like a foundation or just like a scene?
Just a scene. Yeah, just a scene. Yeah, just a scene.
Yeah, that sounds like a hard weekend of work. Definitely worth it.
Definitely. That's one thing that's missing today. A lot of people, when they recording songs, they figure they can come in here for 3 hours, 4 hours, and really gel. It's hard to really gel for 3. I understand some people just can't afford it. You know, it's expensive. And but then everybody had cliques back then. You had Master P had his No Limit clique. You had E40 with his Sick With It records. In Too Deep with their group. It's just, everybody had cliques at the time, and we would come in the studio, and everybody would actually work together. Now you got people. They did their verse at home. Somebody else did their verse at home. They don't come together and write like they used to. We used to write together, so all the song had all the same meaning. Could have been like one rap all the way through, but everybody putting together their 2 cents, putting in their feedback, however they felt they want the song to go. I think that's missing today. Rappers performers don't get together and write together, you know.
So let's stay on that same year, '96. So that's the same year that Mac Dre was working on the Rompilation 1, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And I remember I didn't know Mac Dre. I didn't know him. He got out of jail. People told him about me because at this time, my studio was getting well known because there wasn't any studios here in the Bay Area that would charge what I charged and give you the same professional sound. From there, when I worked with In Too Deep, they basically told E40 about me. That's how he heard about me. He came to my studio, wanting studio time, wanting to work with me, and I said, sure. You know, when I heard him rap, I said, man, he's off beat. But hey, that's just a different kind of music, and that was his style, and that's why he's unique, because his style was so different. He wasn't like anybody, and it was new to me because I never heard it like that before. And he's a genius to come up with his own style. Studio Tone came up with the mob music, so that was a perfect match right there. And I worked with him on a few albums and that they did in my studio. JT, the bigger figure I work with a whole bunch of people. But back on the Mac Dre situation, he heard about me. He came to the studio, wanted to do the compilation. He wanted me to produce a few tracks. I did that, and it was a success. And then I did Rompilation 2. That did pretty good. And then I can't remember exact dates of the Stupid Doodle Dumb record. But he wanted me to do other things, but I was busy with No Limit. I was busy with a lot of people in the Bay. So I really didn't concentrate just on one act. I was just so busy doing everybody's stuff. But I remember he said, man, I just want you and Funk Daddy to do this album. Funk Daddy was from Seattle. He a producer from Seattle. He did half the album, and I did half the album. I think Johnny Z did one song, but yeah, I did the main cut, Stupid Doodle Dumb, which is one of my favorite songs to date. Yeah, but Mac Dre was a character, man. He would crack on you, and he cracked on you out of respect. If he cracked on you, that means he liked you. If he didn't crack on you or say nothing funny to you, he didn't like you. He would crack on me all the time, man. I'd laugh because you can't crack back on him because he's gonna come back harder on you. So I really missed that about him, being him around, and we were actually gonna maybe work on Stupid Doodle Dumb number 2. He called me about it right before he passed away, and we never got a chance to do the number 2.
Rest in peace to Dre.
Yes, sir.
You brought up JT, the bigger figure.
Mm-hmm.
What happened with the situation with JT where his equipment got stolen?
He had called me one day. He said, man, somebody got into my unit. He was in a Victorian in San Francisco. His studio was, I think, on the bottom floor. A Victoria home, okay. You know, one of those old Victorians. And you know how then you can go in the first floor, and then you can go all the way upstairs or whatever, because they had different doors. And I guess somebody broke in his place, stole all his equipment, took everything. And he called me and said, man, they stole all my stuff. I got to finish this record, man. Kalu, I can't pay you, but I got a mic. If you can take this mic for payment, man, I would appreciate it. So he came to my studio, bought me the mic. It was a, what was it, a C12, AKG C12. I still got that mic today. And I like JT. I didn't really do it for the mic, I did it for him because he was a good dude, man. He still is a good dude to me. You know, I really had no funk with nobody. I've always been a mellow dude. You know, I treat people how I want to be treated. Never really had no favoritism with studio time. And I just always was a straight dude, you know. And anybody say anything bad about me, they got a problem. But I helped JT. I helped him record this record. I'm quite sure he remembered that. And I did it out of love, you know. But I still got that mic. Yeah.
That's a great story.
Oh, yeah.
So on a side note, I noticed a common theme with, you know, your past experiences with these artists, or you know what, I'll call them these humans, because at the end of the day, we're just all people. And
of course,
it seems like you're willing to, I don't want to say do the work for free, but you seem to see something in people to where you're willing to, you know, let Master P paint the house or let JT give you the mic, but you're still willing to do the work for those people. Would you say that situations like that, doing that type of free work for people ultimately paves a better way for the future for whoever's doing that type of work?
Most definitely, man. It's if you sometimes think of things out of your heart, it's gonna come back on you, you know. And I've been very blessed to be in my position of who I am and where I come from, my family support, and all that comes from me being brought up the way I was brought up. You know, it's not sometimes all about money. Even though I have to be paid to support myself, it's not all about that. If you put yourself in a position to win, no matter what, you're gonna win, you know. And sometimes people get all caught up on how much they're gonna get paid for this, but you just got to think of the big picture, you know. I didn't know Master P was gonna blow up to be that big, you know. I didn't know that. I didn't know, you know, JT was gonna be that big. It's just that's how I felt. But with Master P, I got rewarded tenfold on what I saved him, what he done for me. I remember one time going down, I gotta go a little bit past the story we'll get to later on. He called me up. He's working with West Side Connection. He wanted me to come to LA and produce the song for them. And I did that, and they ended up, it was called Bangin'. And it's like a West Coast song. And I think I was leaving. He was paying my regular money that he owed me for a track. And they gave me the check, and I was walking off. All right, man, I'll check with you later. Call me. I'll see you soon. And I was going to go back to Louisiana another time. He said, hold up, hold up. I said, what's up? And he started writing another check, right? And then he wrote a check, tore it up, handed it to me. I said, what's this? I looked at it, it's $25,000. And I said, what's this for? He said, for you being you. And man, that touched me, bro. You know, that's just a small token of who this guy was and how generous he was. He was like that with everybody. You know, he was really like, he shared the wealth. It's just depending on what you did with your wealth that he gave you, you know. So, but he did things like that for me all the time. I'd go down to Louisiana. I'd do, I don't know, 12 to 15 songs. They might use 7 of them, but he paid me for every song, you know? So, yeah, I'm glad God brought us together. I'm glad I met him.
Yeah, I really love to hear stories like that, because you know you get a sense of like, I don't know if I can call it well-being, but it just feels good to know that you're appreciated outside of the work. Like, you know, I appreciate you as a person. Okay, but let's get back to
Thank you.
some other music stuff.
Okay.
So Run DMC came through here. When was that? And what did you guys record?
What year was that? That was in the early 90s. I think it was 92, 93, I don't know. Sometime after Back to the Hotel by In Too Deep.
Okay.
Johnny Z produced that song. They came to me to help them get the sound they wanted. And I achieved that because, believe it or not, I recorded that on an 8-track reel-to-reel, you know? I really honed my craft on knowing how to record, how to get the sound, how to get that professional sound with the equipment I had. And their label, Profile Records, by Corey Robbins, he owned Profile Records. Run DMC was on toward the last of their career, and Corey wanted to revitalize them, give them a new spark. So he sent them out here to the Bay Area to work with In Too Deep, because In Too Deep was the latest, hottest act that he had at the time. So he, you know, by chance, just sent them out here, seeing what we can come up with. And Gerald and Joe, Run DMC, they were with it. They were cool. Jam Master Jay, God bless his soul, he wasn't cool with it. He was like, what we doing down here, man? It's some bullshit. But he wasn't cool with it. But when I recorded Run DMC, and I saw how 2 people on the mic at the same time working like one person, oh, it blew me away. Like what you see on TV, them dudes exactly like they just know each other that well. And we didn't really come up with nothing great, didn't nothing happen. Because I guess we didn't have that New York, you know, that New York swag with the music. We just West Coast people, and it never did work. But it was a good experience meeting them guys. They were very professional. They treated us good. But Jam Master Jay was a little bit cocky at the time, and he deserved to be whatever he wanted to be. It just, you know, I can understand why he felt like, oh, they got us down here working with these dudes. Man, they ain't nobody, you know, so. that was a great experience. I got that memory just back here somewhere.
Dope, dope. Okay, let's get into another page real quick. So let's talk movies, Kalu. Deep in It, was that your first movie that you put out?
Deep in It was my first movie that I put out. The first, but let me go back. Let's go back a little bit.
All right.
Let's go back.
Okay.
Let's go back a little bit. This was 90, 98.
Okay.
98. Let's go back a little bit so I can just tell you a couple of things. 98, me and Master P was riding back from his house to Baton Rouge, back to the studio. And he said to me, hey, you know this ain't gonna last. You ought to start your label. You get you an artist. I'll put it out, and let's see what happens. So the act that I had, Derek Shields, Mr. Robodope, may he rest in peace. He's not with us any longer. He was an artist. He was the artist that I had at the time. I mean, he was dope, man. But he kept getting in trouble and kept going to jail. And every time people would ask me, you got your artist? I said, no. He said, man, you got to hurry up and get your artist. He was in jail. So I ended up getting one of Sick With It artists, Lil Gip, you know. And I ended up signing him to my label. And I ended up putting his project out on Top of the World. And Master P named him Lil Italy. That's where the name come from. And then we put that record out. It did okay. Didn't do as good as it would have done if I had followed Master P advice and did it a year before when everything was going gold and platinum. But I put it out in 99 when everything was starting to go down, right before Cash Money came out. But I would say from there, all the connections I had, everything that I built up, it was easy for me to go to these big record labels and get a deal and get money out of them. You know, publishing deal, record deals. I had my own label that recorded all my own stuff because I wasn't worried about any money. I had money. And I had Don P. He was a solo act. I had Rob G, Jay Sweets. They were brother act, and I had Buddha Mac. But all together, they were called a Handsful of Hooligan. And a quick story with that Handsful of Hooligan, I took it to MCA Records. And Randy Jackson from American Idol, he was the senior VP of A&R at the time. And he heard it, he loved it, he wanted to sign everything. And from there, he said, yeah, I'm going to New York. When I come back, I'm going to send you this deal memo. Deal memo in the record business is like a handshake. You get a deal memo, that's a done deal. So when I come back on Monday, I'm gonna send you the deal memo. We're gonna do this, put your act out, and we're gonna go from there. So Monday come, Naeem Ali, who's the A&R for MCA, working under Randy. Oh man, I got this deal memo I'm about to send you. Oh, cool. I'm thinking money, 800 to $1 million, you know, at the time. Here come the deal memo. It comes out of my fax machine. I'm reading it. And I'm reading, it says, Buddha Mac name only. I said, what the? Oh my God, they only want Buddha Mac. And I had to break it to the other guys, man. And I know it hurt them real bad, you know, that they changed their mind and they wanted Buddha. But anyway, I ended up getting Buddha signed to MCA. We worked on her record. 40 was on the first single. And I guess it just wasn't meant to be because right before they got ready to release the record, Randy gets fired because he has a argument with the president of the label because he wanted them to spend more money in the urban department. And I guess they had differences and they fired him. And when Randy left, everything that he signed left. So they dropped us. They told me to keep all the money they gave me, keep your music. And, you know, and from there, that was it, man. A lot of things could have happened great from there, but okay.
Yeah, that's a tragic story.
What were you saying
led
before
up to
that?
I was asking about Deep in It.
Oh yeah, the movie. The movie business.
So you were riding with P in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
He gives you the spiel on you should start your own record label.
Yes.
At what point in time, after all the success, do you decide, you know what, I think I want to take it to the next level? Because you could have just stopped with the music.
Yeah, I mean, up until, you know, I'm still doing music today, but I'm not chasing the music today. I'm not chasing beats no more. I don't do beats no more because to me, ain't no money in beats. You know, a lot of guys, they doing their own thing. You know, they got these sample packs. It's just, to me, there's no musicianship. No one's really playing. There's a few guys that I know play. I play my own stuff. When somebody asks me to do something, I play everything. And so I said, I want to do something else, challenge myself. So a friend of mine that used my studio, Philip Brome, he did a movie. He did his first movie, and it was called Easy Money. And he did it. And it kind of influenced me, inspired me to do my own thing. So I knew a guy that had called me, wanted me to score some of his commercials. His name was Jamel Brinson. He had the equipment, he had the knowledge. So we talked and we decided to start a partnership together, a company called Media Stream Pictures. And we produced our first movie film called Deep in It. Through the help of Master P's guidance, because Master P did Foolish, he did I Got the Hook Up, One, he was already in the game. So he had a lot of connections. He checked it out. Him and Jamie Foxx watched the movie. Jamie Foxx thought it was cool, but he turned it down because he said my acting could have been better. I ain't got no money to pay anybody my first movie. I'm not going to spend millions of dollars. I'm just getting into this. So I just did it mediocre just to see if I could get one done. I got it done. It's making money on Tubi. It's on Comcast. And I got the bug. So now I'm on my third movie. The second movie, Faded. Hope to show you a picture of Faded right now. But that'll be out in, the end of March, early April. And I'm working on another movie, which is going to be a horror movie. We're writing it right now. And I'm really excited about that movie. But that's how I got into it, just to challenge myself. And I'm loving the film industry. So it just gives me something to look forward to every day. I love writing, writing stories. I went on vacation to Turks and Caicos, and I sat down and came up with the idea for this horror movie. And Jamel and my daughter, who's a part of the writing team, we writing the script right now as we speak, and it's coming out really, really good. I think it's going to really be the one. But that's how I got in the movie business.
That's dope. That's real dope. How do you go about your selection for actors and actresses? Do you just scout through Instagram, or do you have people like act in front of you?
You definitely. I've been the backstage where you go in there, you check their database of actors. I've got recommendations from Jamel, my business partner, who knows a few people that knows people. And for Deep in It, we end up using a lot of people that I know. Didn't have a lot of experience, so but I knew I had a lot of rappers in that movie because rappers, believe it or not, rappers are really good actors because they know how to say their lines, because when they rapping, they acting. Really, some of them. And a lot of actors did a great job, like Miko Kaki, who played Dre, and he did a great job. He surprised me. Philip Brome, he surprised me. He was the leader of his group, Mob. He did a great job. A lot of people did a great job acting. But Jamie Foxx said I could have had better acting. Okay. But for this next movie, I got better acting. Paid a little more money for the acting because I'm experienced a little bit now. I got one movie under my belt, getting better with it. And the acting is a lot better. We just learned a lot. And you're going to be able to see the growth in that movie. But backstage, recommendations, that's how you find actors. We did Zoom because it was during the pandemic. But for Deep in It, we did live auditions. And when you have them come in, you read. We were at Salesian High School. They let us use the cafeteria. Shout out to Salesian. Salesian was so helpful and so supportive of us. They let us use the whole campus, the whole classrooms, offices, whatever we needed. Salesian said, "Go ahead, you got it." And they really helped. Without them helping us and giving us the okay, it would have been a tough movie to do. But they were great. They were great.
Tell me about that merch that you got on.
Oh, this right here, Plant Life. This is my son's organic farm company. My son is, I call him a little genius, man. My son know how to do everything, man. My son's the type of guy that he took the fireman's test to see if he can do it. He could do it. He did real estate to see if he can do it. He got his license. You know, he built 6 greenhouses in backyard and started growing his own organic farming foods. He did it. Anything he sets his mind to, he does it. So I'm really proud of him. And this is just look him up, Plant Life.
Plant Life is the name of the brand?
Yes.
Dope.
Yes.
Gotta check that
Plant
out.
Life. Yeah.
So, it's merch based off of his organic gardening?
Organic gardening, yes. It's all natural, organic, and it's good for your body. Once you go on the site, you look it up, Plant Life, it tells you everything about what he's doing, where he comes from, and what his vision is. I'm just proud to be his dad to help support him in what he's doing.
Shout out to Plant Life.
Yes,
Y'all gotta go check that out.
right on.
Okay, K-Lou, do you have any advice for anyone who's in music, just entrepreneurs in general, whether they be young, older, just getting started, or have been in the game for 10 years? What's some advice you would give to someone who's trying to get to the next level?
The advice, seeing the people that were successful that I watched coming up, and even me, where I got, the old saying is what you put in is what you get out. If you don't put nothing in, you're not going to get nothing out, you know? Like me and like P, like 40, these guys, they put a lot into it, you know? You just seeing the glamour. You didn't see the hard work. Them guys, like I know P used to get up at 6, 7 in the morning, right? I mean, this guy hardly slept. And the reason why he got up at the time, he was making phone calls back to New York, back to Louisiana, which is a 3-hour difference in time. If it's 7 o'clock here, it's 10, 11 o'clock there. That's day is almost over. You know, you got to catch these guys at 9, 10 in the morning. That's why he was getting up making these calls, these mom and pop stores, getting up, getting his stuff together, go sell out of the trunk of the car. And the work ethics was totally different. To me, it's a lot easier now, but people just not putting the work in, you know? They're just not putting the work in to get it done. And that's all I say, just put the work in. Don't wait for somebody else to do it. You do it yourself. You know, if you want to promote yourself, you want to think of new ideas for your music, put the work in. That's the main thing I'm saying. You don't put the work in. Look at me. I'm still at it. I get here I wake up every morning at 5:30, 6 o'clock, even now, you know? And I'll come to the studio. I come to the studio about 9 o'clock every day. And sometimes I don't leave till 10 o'clock at night, you know? But on the weekends, everybody tell you, you can't find me. I'm at home chilling with my feet up playing golf or working on my movies, you know, that's what I'm doing. But I'm putting the time in. And if you put the time in, you'll be rewarded. If you don't put no time in, you're not getting nothing back. That's the advice I can give because I've seen people do it. I've seen P do it. P went from a $10,000 investment when his grandfather died to I've seen a guy make $300 million straight up. Look at 40. Look what he's doing, you know? Nobody gave that to him. He earned that, you know?
Let's talk about E40 a little bit.
Yes.
What is your relationship with E40? How did you guys meet?
Like I said, I met him in Too Deep. JT from In Too Deep told 40 about me because he was curious. Like, man, how y'all get y'all sound to sound like that? Man, we go to the studio in Richmond, man. This guy, K-Lou. So 40 called me, and this is the first time I met him. I called him Skinny 40 because he was thin. Don't be mad, 40. He was thin, though. And came to my studio, and I didn't know him, you know. I said, all right, rap for me, dog. And he rapped, and I'm listening to him. I'm trying to catch the beat, you know. But it was different. I'm not saying I didn't like it. It was different. So I said, okay, yeah, I'll help you. I'll help you. And he started, his first record with me was Down and Dirty, I think it was, with The Click. Oh, man, I'm sorry. I can't remember the name of that record. But that was a hot record. Studio Tone did all the music for that record, man. Studio Tone is one of my top 5 producers of all time. He was ahead of his time. And he really gave E40 that sound along with the style he was rapping. And they came up with this new music called mob music. And that was the start of it. But 40 is another guy that I really, I'm glad I met him. I'm glad God brought us together because he was good to me too. He never, I always supported him and his family, never nothing bad. He never said anything bad about me. It always was love. Even today, I can call him today. I got the coffee table number. He don't get that to everybody. He know I don't bug him. I might ask him for a favor here and there. Hey man, post my movie, but he's always there, man. He's always there. And he supported a lot of people. It's just, again, you can't blame a person for you give someone else an avenue to take it and run with it. If they don't take it and run with it, you can't blame you for it. So everybody had a chance around 40. Everybody had a chance around P. It's what you do with it, I just happened to work on my own thing and keep it going. That's why I'm still in it today, and I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna keep doing music till I can't do it no more. I'm not gonna go. I can go home and sit down and put my feet up and not do nothing, but I can't do that. I gotta keep working, that's just my nature. So right now, what I'm working with Buddha Mac on some new music. Buddha has changed. There's another Buddha Mac, which is a guy Buddha Mac, but no, this Buddha Mac is the original Buddha Mac, Budddah Mac. She was the rapper I signed at MCA. Now her whole style has changed. She's not rapping. She's singing. She's gonna blow your mind. She has some hot music out. We were recording some stuff the other day, and you can find her Buddha Mac. I'm also working with Rachel Moto. She got a new project coming out, and it's like she wanted her concept of being like how they used to do tapes back in the day, A side, B side. She came with a great idea. We were just talking this morning. She said, I want one side to be Rachel, where it has all my music stuff, and the other side to be Moto, all my motorcycles. She rides motorcycles. And her songs are hot too, really hot. Working with Sauce. He has a lot of music coming out. I really think he's going to be one of the next to blow. I'm working with so many people. I'm sorry if I forgot who you are, forgot your name. BCAs, Black Collar Hustlers. I'm working with a lot of people right now. And I got a lot of movies coming out. I got 5 movies that I got planned. And I'm on number 3 right now, so I'm not going nowhere as far as my movies. If you want to get into acting, hit me up on mediastreampictures@gmail.com. Send me your picture, resume, experience or no experience. If you're good, you're good. I can get you into something if it works. But I'm continuing to do music. I'm mixing for a lot of people out of state. So if I want to be busy every day, I can be busy every day. But I'm just gonna keep doing this what I love doing. Once I give it up, I'm ready to go. But I'm not giving it up no time soon.
Respect. Where could the people find you at, K-Lou?
You can look me up on Instagram, The Real K-Lou, THEREAL. I'm really a humble guy, man. It's like you come in my studio, you won't see a lot of pictures of me with stars. I just never been that cat. I'm just humble. I'm just humble. I think that's why a lot of people really respect me because, I'm humble. I tell it to you straight, but I'm humble. But I don't post a lot, but you can find, I will start posting a lot. You can find, like I said, under Instagram. I'm just starting to Twitter, TikTok for my movies. I'm going to do all that. But yeah, follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Kenny K. Lou Franklin on Facebook.